Congratulations.
All right, thank you, Doctor.
Stay right with me.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2010, your classmate and today's commencement speaker, Dr. John Marazzi.
Wow. A lot of pressure. I talked to Dr. C when we talked about the commencement. I said, I'm really not good at public speaking, especially in front of big crowds. He said, don't worry, there's only going to be about 100 people there. Does he fib to you guys too? First, let me thank the members of the nominating committee. I want to also recognize the members of the board of directors, the executive staff, and Dr. Calabro, both of them, members of the faculty, and especially the class of 2010. I can't express how honored and excited I am to share this day with you all. I want to recognize my family, my father Joe, mother Lisa, Marissa, Brianna, my brother Joe, friends and my in-laws. It's my father's birthday today. I thought we'd sing happy birthday to him. No, just kidding. Promised Dr. Calabro I would keep this speech under 2 hours. I got to tell you, it's going to be close. I thought long and hard about what I can share with you today as you enter or re-enter the business world. One thing I know for certain is your future will be filled with ups and downs. Today you're going to hear about some of mine, and I'm going to share with you the 3 key concepts that have guided me along the way. They are people, strategy, and execution. Let's talk about people. For the record, I was young like you at one time. My parents would verify that I focused on 2 things, beer chugging and girl chasing. How do I describe the friends at that time? Let me just say they weren't model citizens. As I entered the work world, I quickly realized the fun and games were over. I discovered that the more time I spent with the right people, the better my life and career became. Throughout life and business, I look to surround myself with moral, professional achievers. With moral, I look for people that are kind to others, they're good-hearted, professional, they set goals, they focus on success, and achievers. They accomplish goals. Whether it's raising money for your church group or your little league, doesn't matter. They achieve the task that they set their mind to and they take action. Where do you find positive, supportive people like this? Church groups, network groups, friends and family. You even know somebody that you would love to sit down and have a cup of coffee with that you respect, but you're afraid to do it. Let me be the first to tell you, they would be honored if you reached out and said, can I buy a cup of coffee? I'd love to pick your mind. I'm getting ready to enter the business world. The second key is strategy. You got to have a plan. At 17 years old, I was living in New Jersey, and I knew one thing. I wasn't going to stay there. I was either going to California or Florida. So in 1987, I packed up a U-Haul, and I moved to Clearwater, Florida, and got a job as a salesman at a Toyota dealership in Clearwater. The first day on the sales floor, it was about 167 degrees, 100% humidity. I sweated through my shirt in about 15 minutes. Meanwhile, I gazed at the managers who were inside drinking coffee in the AC. So I set a goal. I was going to make it to management, or I was going to move back to Jersey. The first meeting I was at, the new guys always had to stand and introduce themselves. And I remember at this store, it was a motley crew back then. I mean, it was nowhere near as litigious as it is in today's society, so we had quite a crew. But I remember standing up in that meeting, and I introduced myself, and I told them, within 30 days, I will be the #1 salesperson at this dealership. Lots of hoots, hollers, and lots of laughing. So in essence, now that I look back on what I did, I realize what I did, and I call it calling yourself out. It's making yourself accountable. It's telling people what you're going to accomplish and putting pressure on yourself. Well, I went downstairs after that meeting and found out that Southeast Toyota Finance would finance anybody on this one particular model car that they made back in '87, which was a Toyota Corolla FX. It was by far the ugliest car ever created, maybe next to the Aztec, but it was right up there. So I hired a secretary, got a phone line, put an ad in the paper, good credit, slow credit, no credit, call Mr. Marazzi, pre-approval. She took the applications, we got the deals approved, we brought in the people that got approved, and there were a whole lot of people driving around FX Corollas within 30 days.